In 3, 2, 1, 0, we're live for the Dom Joseph podcast on episode 1. This is the first time this episode is live, and I'm here joined by Brian Bordonaro. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me, Dom.
Yeah, no problem. You know, this is a podcast. I just want to give everyone a rundown of what this is really about. This podcast isn't really sports oriented. It's not politics. It's not game show. It's really just two guys having a conversation. You know, it could be two guys and a dog. You know, it could be two guys and a dinosaur. I don't really care at this point. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we have a really good, fun show for you guys. So where can people find you, Brian, before we get started?
My @name is Bordonaro on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram.
So is it board with like board as in I'm bored or like a skateboard?
So this is kind of weird, but on Twitter, it's like I'm bored.
Mm-hmm.
But on Instagram and Snapchat, it's like a wooden board.
Okay. So yeah, it's a little bit different. So make sure you guys keep track of those distances. He is on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Yep.
Is that what those three you said? All right. So what to start? You know what's going on with Brian in 2019? What are you about?
All right. Well, just a little bit about myself. I'm
Yeah.
a senior here at Wazoo. I'm just like any other guy. I feel like I like sports, video games, fart jokes, anything goes.
You know, the funny thing is about video games that I like to branch into is that video games are taking off lately. You know, there's this fucking thing. A lot of people like to associate games with people slacking off and being a loser. I don't really get how people just really say how playing a video game is so. Yes, I mean, in every profession you could say people are being a loser because there's fantasy football for sports, and there's all these type of things that say, oh, well, he doesn't really do anything but do that all day. You know, how much does a stream? How much do you think Ninja makes a month?
Oh man,
Ninja makes
like $1 million. I don't know.
Ninja's making $1 million a month, and you're calling that slacking off? They're fucking assholes for that.
Yeah, and my issue with that stereotype that people have is, like, if you weren't playing video games, what else are you gonna do? Some people go out drinking. Some people watch Netflix.
Yes.
What's the difference? And if anything, I feel like video games are more engaging, where you're controlling, you're doing strategy. Like, it makes your mind work.
My mom, you know, made this joke when we were really younger. She would go, you know, I'm glad I bought them an Xbox because, you know, I at least know they're home. And that kind of ties into what you said. Like, we could very well be out spray painting, you know, talking middle school, you know, spray painting, TPing houses, but we were inside playing Halo. You know, obviously we were a little louder than we should have been. But, you know, you look at it and say, well, video games aren't the worst thing in the world. But there is an extent where people do sit at home and play video games all day, and that is a little disgusting. But to branch into also to video games, because that is something I really like to talk about because I love playing them. Hell, we actually have the Xbox on right now. But esports is something that has really taken my mind, like, it's blown my mind a little bit because, you know, you look at people in Korea and you look at all the other countries and what the sport behind esports. So people who don't know esports, it's essentially esports it's video game sports, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say esports is if you were to summarize it?
I would just say
It's just online
at the highest possible level where it's organized and you can make a living off of it.
Yeah.
That's what I would call esports.
It's like there's gaming houses. Have you seen these gaming houses? Like, these guys got Wi-Fi that's faster than me blinking. And they got 15. There was a gaming house in Marysville.
Really?
Did you? So you know where Jennings Parks is? If you go down, it's right off the road by all those dental offices. There was one right there, and there was like 6 pro gamers that lived in there. My brothers told me.
Wow.
My brother was like, "Yeah, that's a gaming house," and like it was. I guess it was crazy. Like, that's pretty fucking cool. I guess they had like special Wi-Fi and shit. But, you know, so something about esports is because I bring this up because I know you're a big League of Legends guy.
Yeah.
And I see on YouTube all these big announcements. Like, there's esports are selling out stadiums. Like, Key Arena in Seattle was sold out for, it might have been League of Legends.
I think it was League. They also had a Dota one.
Dota 2 was there too.
That might have been the Tacoma Dome, and that one sold out too. Yeah. It's crazy.
Did you go by chance?
I'm not a fan of Dota. I mean, Dota and
the
League
League
Legends, they're the same thing, but they're different. You know,
how are they different?
Apple versus Android.
So League is Apple.
Yeah, League is the more popular
Okay.
one. Yeah, more mainstream.
So they're the iPhone, and everyone else is Samsung Galaxy, right?
Yes.
And, I know League of Legends is one of those strategic games, and it's not like where you could pick up, like, Call of Duty. And, I'm not saying Call of Duty is easy. It's easier in the grand scheme of that game. So if you were to, like, tell people what League is and what you would do about it for someone who wants to start it, what would you say to them? Don't do it? Would you say don't do it?
It is very time consuming. Mm-hmm. So I warn you guys now that it's 30 minutes per game. It takes a lot of time. But if you still wanted to play, I would say don't judge it right away.
Yeah.
Because the first initial thing, even I thought this too, when I first saw League of Legends, was that this is World of Warcraft.
Yep.
I'm not into these kind of games. But it's an entirely different game, different rules, different strategy, and it really takes time to understand the concepts and actually fall in love with the game.
That's one thing I really like about video games because, here's another thing, another stereotype, like the goofing off thing I'm going to bring up. Mario, yes, people were able to goof around because it was pretty 1+1. You look at a game like League of Legends. Okay, we'll go in order. You got Mario 1+1, then you got Call of Duty, which is like, fractions and decimals, and then you look at League of Legends and you're like, this is calculus at a level. Like, obviously you could click and you can move, but you can't do the crazy shit people are doing. And the thing is about esports is like, hey, look, this guy right here is essentially the Odell Beckham of the esports. He can do shit that's crazy. Video games are not the fucking, there is so much thinking in this shit that it's overwhelming. And I just would love to see how competitive people get with it, how it's essentially brought Twitch into the new thing. And I know Twitch is kind of like, it's not as big as it once was in the beginning of 2017, but it's still a big thing. Like, if you meet a big Twitch streamer, that's like you're meeting a big YouTuber nowadays. And, if I could, talk more about video games, I would. But to kind of go, when you brought up World of Warcraft, I have one thing to say about World of Warcraft. That game is for nerds. And, I could say that because I did play it. And here's the thing. It's very addictive. It's a very great game. I love the game. But here's the thing. It's almost too good. Did you see the South Park episode about it?
Yeah.
It's if you have that many people, it's legit that much fun. Like, I never thought an RPG game would be this fun because I played RuneScape when I was younger. But I had a lot of fun playing in that game, and I literally had to tell myself, in freshman year, this is probably my most adult decision I ever made. At that age, I was like, I need to stop playing World of Warcraft because I looked at it, and I was spending 10 hours a sitting. I don't even think sometimes I would go to the bathroom, dude.
That's the thing.
That's my rant.
That's how I felt with League of Legends when I was really into it and I was good at it back then. I wanted to go pro.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't want to stop.
And I got home from school and I played until like 3 a.m. Went to bed, went to school, just repeated over and over again.
On a college schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like a high school schedule, it's a little different. You were doing this on a college. Like, I'm not saying I wish I kind of wish I played in, college, but I couldn't. I'm amazed that you were able to squeeze those in, and that's awesome. But, like, you even told me a while back, you're like, I need to stop playing this game because that's the stereotype that everyone makes fun of. But, there's people have minds. People who play video games aren't just delusional. Obviously some people go, all right, I need to stop playing. This is not what I want to be doing all the time. So that's really like my rant on video games. I'm a huge fan.
Well, I have one more thing to say, like especially about the esports. I think what gets me so interested in it is, well, growing up, I've always been a competitive person, and I love sports as well.
Yep.
And my dream job when I was growing up was a professional baseball player or a football player. And the thing that held me back was genetics. I wasn't as big, strong, or fast as any of these guys. And that's why esports are so appealing to me. Anyone can become pro. If you put in enough time, you get good at it, and you master your craft, you could be pro. And that's what got me addicted. Unfortunately, I didn't get good enough to be pro.
Oh, yeah. There's people out there that are going to fucking be, like, I hate to use other countries, but people in Korea, they got camps, bro.
Oh yeah.
They got people who don't leave the place until they are a certain rank. I'm sure. I don't know. You know?
No, it's true.
It's insane.
Parents are putting their kids into schools to teach them how to play video games.
No way. Video games?
I'm serious.
Because I know they did that for soccer in Europe, but for video, it's now happening for video games.
To esports.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting their kids in there now to train.
No fucking way.
It's ridiculous. But I mean, that just shows you how much esports is growing and how much it's going to be in the future.
Yeah, like I said, there's people, they're selling out those Olympic stadiums that are, no one's in. They have those as just like weekly or monthly like arenas for people to just go battle, like, not actually battle, but in the game. And it's really cool because I look at it from a video game player. And obviously I've always wanted to be really good. There's one game I take pretty seriously is Super Smash Bros. And my brother plays really competitively. And he's very great at the game, and that's how it helps me get a little bit better. But that's one of those games. And here's another thing about video games. I know we're on this tangent, but, I don't really mind whatever we talk about. Every console has a different identity to me. If I were to break this down for you, this is how I would do it. PC is pretty business. It's pretty business-like. You have your things that you want to do, and then it's cheaper. It's essentially Costco. If I were to put it, PC you could get more for cheaper, and there's more things to get, and you get to sample things. You can hack it. That's your sampling,
Add mods.
Yeah, you can add mods. So that's how the PC is like Costco. You look at the PS4 and Xbox, you kind of put them in one because they're more like laid back. It's Walmart and Target. You could do the things the computer could do, but not necessarily the best. You can't really mod it, But then you look at something like the Wii, and I think, the Nintendo, and I treat it more as like a carnival. The games aren't really the most fun. I mean, yes, they're hella fun, but they're not the most advanced like something you'd see. It's not 4K, but it's the simplicity that makes it the most fun, and the family a part of it.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean? It's super cool. So like, if you had to choose, would you say those things are like that? Those four?
Yeah, and Nintendo, I think they do a great job by not trying to compete with Microsoft and Sony. They know that they have their part of the market, and they're going to stay there. What people need to actually take, note on is how Nintendo does shit. Nintendo stays in their own lane, and they do their own shit. Like, this is another thing people don't like to do, breaking into, this is a new year, new people, new year, new me thing. But here's the thing that people need to notice I wish people would do in 2019. And that is literally just put your head down and work, or put your head down and do what you like to do. I'm a person who likes to go to the gym. And when I first started, I didn't like to go because I wasn't the biggest guy. I'm still not the biggest guy. I'm not even in the higher percentage of the biggest guys at the gym. But as soon as I stopped saying, wow, man, I really want to just be as big as that guy. Yes, that's cool to have that inspiration and the great work of others. But, hey, just do your own race, man. Obviously, you're not going to grow to be 6'6" like that wide receiver on the Cougs, dude. You're not going to be him. Yeah.
But you could be the best fucking 5'9" native dude. I wish that's what people need to take into the fact is Nintendo's doing it right. They have their head down. Yeah. And that's super awesome. And I know you're a big guy who likes to work out too. What started it all for you?
Well, initially, I tried when I was younger with my brothers. We lived right next to a YMCA, so we'd always go there. But I always ended up quitting. Yeah. I mean, I'd go 2 days in a row, and then I got tired, and I wanted to stay at home.
And your parents would let you?
They'd get mad.
My mom let me all the time, and I wish she wouldn't sometimes.
My parents would get mad, but they wouldn't enforce it enough to make me go. But it wasn't until high school when I started playing football, and my love for football drove my passion to lift. The only reason why I was in the weight room was to get stronger and faster. I didn't care about how I looked or anything, and it stayed that way all the way till my senior year, and football season ended, and I quit working out actually. Yeah. And
for how long? For
the whole second semester. Yeah, not until freshman year of college is when I really got back into it, and it's hard for me to say that I quit now because I couldn't imagine quitting at the present moment. Yeah, and it was all because I had no purpose.
you're like, oh, well, might as well not bench because I'm not going to be trucking anyone or I'm not going to be catching a ball anymore, right? Was that
exactly. Like I had no reason. I still didn't care about how I looked, and what finally got me back into it was I started to care about how I looked.
Yeah.
I wanted to find a girlfriend. Like I wanted to present the best Brian possible.
That was one of my questions I was going to ask you. Was there any part of this that was trying to attract the female?
Oh, completely.
You know, the females.
I mean, I still get joy in getting stronger.
Yeah.
Like I love to see my maxes go up, and a lot of it is for myself too nowadays.
Yeah.
It's a huge stress reliever for me. I don't know if you get that same.
Oh,
effect.
I get fucking. It's, you know, when you go work out and you have something to do, even if you say you slept in for 12 hours that day, and I'm like, you know what, I can go to the gym, and say I felt like a fucking slob, I didn't do shit today. If I just bench once, I'm like, damn, I'm here and I'm doing it, and then I instantly feel better.
Yeah,
it's insane. Yes,
yeah. But you get to the point where you've done it so much and it becomes such a habit that even on my like rest days where I'm not supposed to work out, I want to work out.
Yeah,
and that's weird to say because all you're doing is picking stuff up and putting it back down. But
damn, I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I know.
That's really simple now that I think about it.
It doesn't sound like it'd be fun, but I love the weight room. Like, to me, that's like my special place. If I'm mad or I'm stressed out, anything, I'm going to the gym. I'm just focusing on the weight and listening to my music, and it clears my mind and I feel like Brian again.
Yeah, that's, you know, a lot of people in the gym, I've noticed, some people take it, it's a very social place. It can be. But here's the thing about the gym I wish people would get too, is that sometimes not everyone's there to talk. Like, yeah, when we go there, we're talking, we're having a good time because we're social. But there was one time I was actually doing squats next to some girl, who, you know, because there's all those racks next to each other. And I'm just working out, and then there's some guys like just went up to this girl and just started hitting on her out of nowhere at the gym. I'm like, I felt bad. I feel bad for girls because they get that a lot.
Yeah, it's not fair.
It's not. It sucks because when I go to the gym and I have a hoodie on, nobody really bothers me unless it's like you or Thomas. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like I felt so bad, and she even looked at me after they left. She's all, hey, I like the thing you're wearing, and you want to hang out? I heard the whole conversation. This is the one day I didn't bring my headphones. And then he left, and she's like, oh, she said some bullshit, you know. Yeah, maybe. And then she's like, did you see that? And I was just like, yeah. It was weird. It was like, we instantly had this friendship because someone was being so douchey. And that could happen anyway. That
happens a lot, actually.
You know? And I just felt so bad. And it's just so fucked up. But here's the thing. When I go to the gym too, it's on my rest days, I'm like, man, if I can't get in for a workout, I feel like shit. You know? Yeah. Even if it's me playing some basketball for a little bit, even if it's me walking the track, at least I did. It's something to do.
Any physical activity.
Yes.
Yeah, it just makes you feel complete for the day.
Oh my God. It's insane. And, you know, actually I've been looking into meditation. If you know, a lot of people in 2019, 2018 were talking about meditation. What have you considered about putting that into your workout at all?
I actually have been meditating for probably the past month. Mm-hmm. It's still new to me and I'm still getting better at it. I can't do it successfully every time. Mm-hmm. But man, it works.
Well, explain the time it did go well then. Because if you don't get it every time, I'm pretty sure you've had a best time, right?
Yeah. Or like when it clicked. I've tried meditating before, like in past years, but I thought it was fake because I never got it successfully. And it wasn't until a month ago when my friend told me about it and how he was dealing with issues and it helped him. And because of his testimony, I decided to do more research and teach myself how to do it and try again. And the first time I tried didn't work. But second time, I closed the door of my closet in my room in the pitch black. No one was home, just complete silence and darkness. And that's what it took for me to finally clear my mind and finally realize how stressed I was. Like, wow. It doesn't hit you until your mind's actually clear.
So you look at that. The last 30 seconds of your meditation here. That's where I'm bringing you right now.
Yeah.
So you know your door's closed, everyone's gone, and you're like, damn, I really just did this. And you open up the closet. Are you happy? Are you more relieved? Are you tired? What really comes through your mind in that then? Like, are you know?
Yeah, it sounds really weird, but like, I felt like finally everything was clear.
Yeah.
I felt like things were brighter. I was just paying more attention to my surroundings, really. Like, colors seemed brighter too.
Like, you appreciated things more?
Yeah, exactly. I realized that I was worrying about things that I shouldn't have been worrying about, and that I should just focus on the present moment and focus on life and how beautiful life is. Not trying to sound like a hippie here.
No, wow, that's really deep, man.
It works.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like to sit down and just say, acknowledge what's going on. Because I know when I'm just sitting around and I, what I do, I've never sat down in a quiet room like that, but I have meditated to the point where I put on music and I just turn everything off but the music. And I just lay in my bed and I listen to a whole album. So like, say someone's like, hey, do you listen to this album? And I didn't do it. I will just totally zone out and listen to it. And like sometimes what it usually does is I just totally learn more about the song. This is kind of how I started actually falling in love with Kid Cudi's music. It's really sad shit. At the end of the day, pursuit of happiness isn't necessarily a dream, or it's not really happiness. He wasn't happy. He was on the way to getting happy. And I looked at it, wow, man, like there's all these happy and get up songs like Hey Ya by Outkast.
Yeah.
There's actually a cover on YouTube that actually kind of exposed how depressing this is. I saw this on Joe Rogan's podcast. And it was super deep. And I started looking into music a little more after that. But to get back to the meditation thing, have you ever heard of the hyperventilation chamber or the sensory deprivation chamber where you lay in salt water?
Yes.
It was on Rogan's podcast as well. And I really want to do that. And maybe next time we're in town, we should go try it out. It's fucking really cool.
Wait, is there one nearby?
There's one in Seattle. There's not one around here. I think there's one in Mill Creek too. But it's super cool, I guess. And it's really meditative. I don't even know if that's a word, to be honest with you. But I think it would be really cool to actually try out. Because a lot of people like to do, when they work out and they just do the workout. And that's what I've done forever. I still technically do that.
Yeah.
But meditating and eating right and getting good sleep is often very underrated.
Oh, yeah.
Very.
Yes. I can tell you from past experience that I missed out on a lot of muscle gain. And that was just solely based off my sleep and my nutrition in high school. I wasn't eating enough protein or enough calories. And I was
You might want to put your mic a little there. Like, there you go. Sorry there. Now you're good.
Yeah, but like, I was mad because I've always been a skinnier person during my childhood. And for football, you don't want to be the skinny guy. And I was just taking protein shakes and thinking that was enough. But you got to have more than that. You have to be eating whole foods. You have to be eating your vegetables. And you have to be sleeping 8 hours.
Sleep was the big part for me. I was like, okay, I'll make my shakes, I'll make my things, and I've never been able to get protein down at all. So the big thing for that is like I was just trying to get all that food in, but I'd get home and I'd make sure I'd eat, but then it would be 3 a.m. and I'd be getting up at 8, and I'd be like, man, I just don't feel good at this workout, and it just didn't feel right. As to when I get 8 hours, I feel like a different person when I'm working out. I feel like it's a mission rather than a chore. And there's some days where you don't want to go to the gym, but those are the days you should go, because those are the days that you'll cherish more after it's done. Like, I'm going to bring this to football because I know you played high school football. There's days where you fucking hated practice. Fuck, every day. I do not want to go to practice. But the day you lose out, the day you're done, you're like, damn, I kind of want to go back to practice, because then you're bored as shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though things may get hard, it's really crazy to see how much you miss things, even though if they're a pain in the ass. I'm not saying working out's a pain in the ass, but like sometimes if you're going through practice like that, whether this could be for a girl doing basketball, a girl doing volleyball, a guy doing basketball, a guy doing, it applies to everyone. As soon as that hard work's taken and it's on you, sometimes it's a little harder to self-discipline yourself. Like moving into college and figuring that out.
Well, and then going back to when you said that days that you felt like you didn't want to work out, those are the days you should. I completely agree with that. And I feel like if you don't feel like going and you don't go, you're training your mind that it's okay to just give in. And you need mental toughness to really do any physical activity that's extreme. I mean, it's tough. You have to work through it, but if you do it enough, you honestly won't have problems with it.
Yeah, because, when I was really young, I never want to go. Because, when the first week you start working out, you get sore. I did leg days. The second day I started working out, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't go up my auntie's stairs. I was like, man, dude, I do not want to go back to the gym. But I was also really excited, and actually I kind of got like a little new wind of working out because I actually just started seeing results like a couple weeks ago. And, I was like, damn, dude, I'm actually starting to gain weight now. I think it's because my stress levels have gone down. I've been able to sleep better. But, wow, when you start seeing little improvements in your life, it is motivating. And whether that be in school, say like you were studying for a quiz and you start doing slowly better on your quizzes, that's motivating. So, that's super cool to put that into terms of your body.
Yeah, and that's a big thing too. Anything you're working to get better at, you should always keep your progress. Like working out especially, because you're seeing yourself in the mirror every day, it's really hard to see the minor changes.
Yeah.
So I'd recommend taking a picture when you first start out.
I didn't do that, man. I'm so pissed. I even told myself when I first started, I was like, man, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, you feel douchey when you do it, but when you look at that picture 2 months later and you compare it, oh my God, dude. Like in your head, you're thinking, oh, maybe my arms got a little bit bigger, but it's a complete transformation. If you're consistent, your body can change a lot in 2 months.
Yeah, because, you don't notice until you go to a birthday party. Like, since we're at college, we don't see our family as much as we used to. And then, like, your auntie or grandma will be like, damn, like, you've gotten bigger. You're like, oh, yeah, I guess you're kind of right.
Wait, did I?
You're like, and then you're like kind of feeling yourself around your own family. You're like, all right, yeah, I'm doing all right. And then you start getting that little confidence. But I wish a lot of people nowadays, to tie this into people, would be as confident as after hearing that as I would. A lot of people now, wow, that was a really tongue twister. A lot of people don't like to be confident in themselves. And that kind of is, I want to tie this into social media. And so, I mean, I don't want to be the guy that says social media is bad and all that shit. Because, there's good and bad. It's done a lot of great shit. I've gotten a lot of opportunities from it. And, I've seen a lot of stupid shit I don't want to see, like memes. I'm not saying I've seen anything stupid or nothing. But, to tie it into that, I wish a lot of people would notice how much their confidence level can go down when they don't get 20 likes on their Instagram post.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, especially when you're following these fake people that, get surgery to make themselves look better. Their only job is to stay skinny and look hot.
Yeah.
And you're comparing yourself to that. Of course you're going to feel bad. It's really toxic to society, really.
It sucks because, you even look at it on Twitter. Like, this person isn't much better than you, dude. Nobody's better than anybody. And they go, well, since this person has 80,000, a number, let me just remind you, a number next to their name, they have a validation over you. Like, okay, yeah, they have a validation over you in that particular field. Like, okay, cool, he's an actor. He's obviously put in the work. That's why he's gotten that. But it doesn't mean you're not a human fucking being too, dude. And, like, that's another thing is, like, people need to stop counting and using metrics as their way of, on my other podcast, I don't go every time and say, oh, man, I only have this amount of followers, so fuck it, I'm not going to do it. Like, I treat it like I got multiple. You know what? Like, I'm treating this right now. I'm treating like we have 100 people in the room, listening. And that's how you got to do it, And I wish people would see and look through the lens of life through the way people see them. Because I know the way your mom looks at you is way different than the guy that sits next to you in class. Yeah. Right? So if you start going, man, you know what? My mom's really proud of me and I'm proud of myself. You're way good. Instead of going, oh, man, Dom, this fucking girl didn't respond to me on, or no, my teacher gave me a D in class today, man. Boo fucking who, bro? Like, there's a lot of people looking at you, man. You got good shit going for you, dude. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Brian came up to me and said this shit, by the way. I'm just using this as an example because a lot of people like to be a victim.
Yeah.
In anything.
That's the thing is, like, there are times where you should feel bad. And it's okay to feel bad. I mean, it's human emotion, but the problem is when you don't do anything to fix it. And I feel like social media also kind of builds into this. A lot of people just complain, honestly. You go on Twitter and it's a diary nowadays.
They should put it as diarytwitter.com.
Yeah, and I don't want to just attack people, but there are some people in my life that they could fix things. They really could. If they put effort, they could fix their life instead of complaining on social media.
What, man, Brian, you don't get it, man. My dad's an asshole to me. You don't get it, bro. How long have you held on to that card? Are you 24 years old, man, still holding on to the, man, you don't get it, bro. What's a good one? What's a good one? Oh, my lab, my favorite dog, passed away when I was 8. Wow. How old are you? You're 22? Man, I don't wish death on no animals, bro. I'm a huge animal guy. But you cannot hold on to that, bro. It's just people want to hang in. What it is they're holding on to a crutch. They're holding on to something that says, okay, this is what's holding you from the real reason is because they're lazy and they're not going to do anything, but they're going to go, yeah, I'm going to use the lab excuse. Yep, I'm using the golden retriever excuse because then everyone will feel bad for me. And then everyone will say, it's okay, he doesn't have to get his life together until he's 30. No, put your head down, read a book, watch a TV show, and quit just making it an excuse. I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker, but
you're speaking truth.
But I'm speaking truth. And here's the thing. There's a difference between motivational speakers and people that are just saying things. And that's the thing that people don't like to fucking do. There's 20-year-olds, Brian, on YouTube I've seen, and I've watched their videos, and they've said some pretty good shit. But when they start making money off of it is when it kind of disgusts me.
That's when it gets a little bit fishy. Buy my confidence program.
No, I'm not going to buy your confidence program. But they have some good messages. But the thing is, this is my problem. This is my problem about 2018, is motivational speakers in the year 2018 that are under the age of 21. Because there's definitely good motivational speakers. Like the Eric Thomas guy, he makes me feel like I could go lift a fucking car. That's different. But I'm talking about the guys that are younger than us, saying they've had it harder than us. And I'm pretty, everyone has a different card in life. But that's fucked up, man. I'm not going to fucking listen to a 10-year-old telling me about fucking this. Like, that could be my stubbornness because I don't know everything in the world, but I'm definitely not paying $150 to hear your bullshit story. No,
I completely agree with you. And some of these kids they might be rich or something based off of like streaming, or maybe they got lucky and sold a stock or something like that. If they actually got to where they got because of hard work, I might listen to them, but a lot of the times they have a skill that I don't have, or they just got lucky.
Yeah, and I hate the word lucky, but it sometimes can be true. And it's just these little kids, man. They're smart. I mean, don't get me wrong. I
businessman. Right there.
I give them props for doing that. That is another thing. So I guess that's really not my biggest pet peeve. If I were to go two more things, Tinder is a huge thing that is kind of pissed me off. I'm a single dude. I've used Tinder before, but lately, I no longer have the app, and I haven't had the app in a couple months, actually. I had it for a short time after a split up with someone, and then I realized this is sad. Everyone's profile on Tinder is just screaming, I'm hurt, and I was just like, man, I was on Tinder for 2 hours that night, and I just said, fuck this, man. Every girl on here is fucking depressed. They're only on here for 2 reasons. They're on here to, get that confidence that I was talking to you about.
Yeah.
By seeing who matches with them, and they're going to use that as their validity. Is it validation? Yeah. Validation to say how hot they are. You know what? There's fucking hot ass fucking 1 out of 10s that would date this girl. But since, they're not on Tinder, they're out in the world, they're going to totally blame themselves and say, man, I'm just not that hot, and that gets them down. And, I could say that for me too, because as a guy, I'd be like, man, there's no one really matching with me. Am I fucking ugly? Or say there's a night I get a match or something, and then I'm like, oh, super excited about it. But then I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm not even going to message this person. This is sad.
I've downloaded Tinder before too. I've never actually went on a Tinder date. I've ended up deleting the app.
Yeah.
For certain reasons, which Dom's already covered one of them. But another thing is I don't think anything beats organic chemistry.
Nothing.
that you met
meeting
in real
someone
life,
in person.
And that's really how you could really test someone's true character. I feel like if you meet someone and you become friends with them and you see what they're really about before like actually saying that your intention is to date. And I think that's the problem with Tinder. You're jumping straight into dating.
Yes.
And you don't really get to know each other. You just kind of schming.
Yeah, because you here's the thing about Tinder. It takes away that wall. So here's the thing. When you see a cute person and you want to talk to them, you don't know they think you're cute. But on Tinder, you obviously both think you're attractive or something was funny, so you swiped a certain way. I don't remember. I think it's right. You swiped right. And the thing is like it takes that organic part away from it. Because, the person I'm talking to right now, it didn't happen through Tinder. And it's much more organic than it would ever be in the scheme of, oh, wow, we met on Tinder. And I can't say anything because I met my last girlfriend, the girlfriend I was with a long time ago, on Tinder. But now it's such a different world now because I even feel like even a year ago it wasn't this bad. And people using social media and Tinder and all that is just, that's my 2018 rant about it. And if there's anything else I have to say about 2018, the last thing I would probably say would be the Tide Pod Challenge. Are you aware of this Tide Pod Challenge?
I am aware, and I would like to say that I'm a hipster.
Wow. Oh. So you support the Tide Pod Challenge?
No. It's too mainstream now. But my freshman year of college, I made a joke Snapchat with Tide Pods.
Okay.
I poured it into a bowl with milk as cereal.
Mm-hmm.
And this was during finals week. And I sent it to my friends, and they all thought it was funny. A year later, these biters come out.
Oh, so you started it.
Oh, yeah.
You heard it here first. On Dom Joseph's podcast, Brian Bordonaro started the Tide Pod Challenge.
I don't really know if it's something to brag about, but these kids are biters. And they deserve to eat Tide Pod.
I just don't get it, man. Okay. Actually, I do kind of get it. Those things look delicious.
They look like candy.
They look like candy. But here's the thing. It's not about that. And it's just bleach you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Is there anything that stuck out to you in 2018 that you're just thankful? I mean, not necessarily if it's gone or just the hype has died. Fortnite. Fortnite's like almost a little bit bigger, I feel like, this year. Like it's everywhere in the mall now.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of like big companies have jumped on the Fortnite bandwagon, and that's why we're seeing it more in media and branding. But I think that the hype between actual players is going down. Like there's less people logging on to Fortnite and playing, but it's still there. But I don't necessarily know if I'm against that though.
Why?
Because I hate Fortnite, but I love it at the same time. And I'll tell you why. So I love Fortnite because it really brought esports to the next level. And I mean, League of Legends and Call of Duty were both pretty big games, but Fortnite's really what took it to the next level. And Epic Games, the people who made Fortnite, also by giving their game away for free and always adding new content and just making sure their game's the best on the market, really forced other games to step it up too. So now we're seeing Call of Duty making transitions, giving away free weapons, nerfing their guns, stuff like that. And because of that, I'm grateful for Fortnite. But let me tell you why I hate Fortnite.
Okay.
I think Battle Royale games suck. And
so you're bored of them. Is it the idea of them? You just don't like them anymore, right?
Well, as a competitive person, the reason why I play video games is because I like to win. Mm-hmm. Now, in a Battle Royale game, you have 100 people. It's pretty hard to win every single game. Mm-hmm. Compared to like Call of Duty, I can get a decent score every game. I feel happy every game. Fortnite just pisses me off when I die by little kids
and they're
better than me.
Yeah, they're way better, dude. Like, here's the thing about Fortnite. I love it. But people, you shoot someone, they build a mansion. They're 10 stories up, man. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I just, Halo, I shoot someone and they run around a corner. I could run around the corner and they're at least going to be somewhat in that area. In Fortnite, if I shoot someone, John Wick's going to fucking build 10 stories up and then snipe me and then do a Fortnite dance. And then I'm pissed because I know it's a 10-year-old.
Oh my God. god, that I completely agree with you. Any other video game, if you see a bad guy looking the other way, they're dead. It's over.
Yeah.
But in Fortnite, yeah, you could just build and save your life. But the thing that makes me mad is when someone shoots me in the back, I insta-die in Fortnite.
Oh, every time.
Even
I have no time to build.
Full armor, full health, I'm dead. Doesn't matter.
L.
But these little kids, man, they can build faster than you can blink.
It's cool. It's weirdly cool. I'm like, fuck this guy.
Hackers,
you
man.
know? It's just like, whenever we do this thing in Fortnite, whenever we die, I'm reporting him. I'm reporting him because this is not fair, man. Because some of these kids, if they would put this time into their math homework, man, dude, we'd have some smart ass kids. But here's the thing. I can't say I was putting time into my homework when I was little. I was playing Halo 3 Forge mode, which is arguably probably a lot worse how much time I spent on it. You know, I'd be like, hey, man, I'm going to fucking build this zombie outbreak map so we could play later. And we'd play 8 hours, dude, nonstop. And here's the thing about Halo. You know, you can't build. You just get better at the game. But here's the thing about Fortnite, which I do like, and you did bring up this point as what you like too. When you're on, the updating, constantly updating your game is really cool. You know, when we played Modern Warfare 2, the Scar H is going to be unbeatable. You know, the ACR is going to be OP, and you're going to get over it. Yeah. NoobTube's going to be there. Get over it. That's what Modern Warfare 2 told us. Fortnite said, okay, we'll take out this was Modern Warfare 2. Fortnite would say, okay, or Epic Games would say, okay, we'll take out NoobTubes, or we'll at least half their damage down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, when we were kids, it was like get over it.
The game's busted. You better get used to it.
Yeah, get used to it. And it sucked because I'd be like, fuck, man. And then all of a sudden, someone like me joins the NoobTube clan. And then all of a sudden, I'm someone I never thought I would be. You know, I never thought I would
either die a hero or
I lived long enough to see myself become the villain. I was noobed. You heard it here, folks. I sometimes NoobTube on Modern Warfare 2. Not all the time, not in GBs, obviously, but when I know it's like is equally as bad as dancing on someone in Fortnite.
I'm happy to say that I'm still not a NoobTuber.
Wow.
But I do quickscope. So
that's not as bad though.
I'd agree because NoobTubers, they look at you and you're dead.
Yeah.
Quickscoping takes a little bit of skill, not a lot.
Yeah.
But a little bit.
It takes some skill. I'm pretty bad at quickscoping, to be honest with you. I got whooped on.
It's one of those things where you wake up and you can do it and it just stays.
Yeah, it really is. Or you spend hours like me looking up spawn tubing spots. I did it all, Brian. I know all the spawn tube spots. But what I want to prove to someone, and here's the thing, a lot of people go, oh, you NoobTube because you're not good. And then I say, okay, I won't use it. And then they're the ones with 6 kills and 15 deaths, and I have 30. Like, get the fuck over yourself. Quit making excuses. That's another thing. Stay in your lane. Stay in your fucking lane, man. Fucking even in Call of Duty, people don't know how to stay in their own damn lane. So we talked about 2018, and we even talked about early on in our, childhood with video games and sports. What's gonna happen this year? What is 2019 due for? Like, obviously we won't get a new president this year or anything crazy like that. But what's gonna happen that not a lot of people are really thinking of, do you think?
Well, this is just a guess.
Yeah.
And I
obviously
might be completely wrong. But I do think that some video game is going to come out that's going to beat Fortnite. It's going to get rid of Battle Royales.
Wow.
I think that because of so many companies copying Fortnite, pumping out these Battle Royales, people are getting sick of it. And we all want something new. And I don't know what it is yet.
What could it be?
It's probably not going to be FPS.
What do you mean? What's FPS?
First person shooter.
Oh, okay.
So it's not going to be Call of Duty or Battlefield. I don't think they're ever going to get their spot back as the #1 video game.
They'll always have a place.
Yeah.
They're not going to be number one.
Especially for our generation. I mean, we grew up with that. So.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really good. So to dive into that, if I were to guess, what do you think if it was like an interactive RPG, like an online one, like a way better one than World of Warcraft, a way better one than RuneScape, or even a virtual reality shit? I don't know if we're really that close to that yet.
I've heard that the virtual reality stuff is actually going downhill.
Really?
Which is sad.
How?
I don't have sources. I know Thomas made this mistake on the last podcast too, but I do remember reading a couple articles saying that just not enough people are buying the
headsets?
Oculus Rift,
Yeah.
and then Sony has the Vista. I think that's what it's called.
Wow, that's bad that I don't even know.
Yeah, and it's just it's not necessarily the VR equipment. I think it's just not enough companies are making games for it.
Yeah. I mean, I bet you it's hard.
Oh yeah.
You know?
360 degrees.
Yeah, what the fuck? And you got to put like the camera unit in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be hard. But here's the thing. Maybe whoa. No, this wouldn't work cuz video games are already interactive. I was talking, the thing that Nate was actually talking about was the interactive episodes on Netflix. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, is it Bandersnatch?
Yeah, Bandersnatch or Black Mirror. Black Mirror.
It is Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I think that show or the Choose Your Own Adventure thing is called Bandersnatch.
That's
but
fucking cool. That is fucking dope.
I still haven't watched it yet.
Me either.
But it's on my list for sure.
That's cool. That's gonna be my prediction. I'm gonna say, actually no, that can't be because you can't put that stuff in a movie theater because then everyone's gonna choose something different. That's the reason why I can't go big.
Yeah.
But sitting there on your own, that could be the future of Netflix of saying, hey, your favorite show is, obviously I don't think South Park will do it. Maybe South Park could do it, but I think that is going to be in our future for 2019.
I would love to see that. That'd be really cool.
I think it would be really cool to see more interactive stuff because I don't watch Black Mirror, but if it was something like, hey, interactive Forrest Gump, hell yeah, I'd fucking watch that. Do you want to fucking run this mile or do you want to win Alabama championship?
Bama.
I'd probably run for the championship.
What I hope actually is that we were just talking about VR.
Yeah.
If we could incorporate that with the decision making thing you're talking about,
Whoa.
because you're really gonna feel like you're there.
That would be dangerous. Remember how I was saying World of Warcraft's dangerous?
Yeah.
If they made an interactive game like a basketball one,
Mm-hmm.
like a 2K, bro.
I wouldn't leave my house.
No.
I'd be buying Madden.
Oh my god!
I would be a pro wide receiver.
If I get to throw,
that's all I would do.
To Ravens receiver. Imagine if you got to be the quarterback to the Eagles, and you got to throw it to Alshon Jeffrey, like actually in the virtual reality thing. Imagine how fun that would be.
Never leave my house.
And then you'd and then this is what happened. I'm gonna explain it. So you throw a game-winning touchdown. Brian wins the game. Then you go home and you're with your wife and kids, and then you're getting the notifications from the game and saying how good you did and how cool you are, and then your fucking battery dies, and then you're like, wow, I have a 10-page essay I have to do. That's going to be depressing. Could you imagine that?
That would be, because your virtual life would be everything you ever wanted.
Oh.
And then you wake up and you hate your life.
That'd be sad.
In contrast to it. Yeah. That'd be something that society would have to deal with.
Oh, wow. I'm actually astonished of what I just came to say. I'm almost like, wow, why did I say that? I just ruined it for myself because now I'm like, I don't really want to do that.
But you know what?
I would do
I'd
it.
do it.
I would definitely do it.
It's way too tempting. And another idea that could happen, I was thinking about this the other day while watching TV. Like my favorite thing about scary movies is a lot of those films do a really good job of making you feel like you're there. And to me, I think that's the most powerful thing in a movie. If I actually feel like I'm there, I'm super engaged with the story and it's entertaining. And I was thinking, do you think they would have like a movie theater where maybe the temperature changes to like, say it's an outside scene,
like a 4D,
like in the forest or something?
No.
Yeah. And what if like they shoot wind at you? It's cold. It smells like pine needles. Like,
no.
Could you imagine what that would do to your movie experience?
I think Universal Studios actually does something like that.
Really?
But it's not to the extent like you were probably talking about. Like really, really not like perfected it.
Well, I know.
Because I think they have like.
I went to Disneyland once. So the California Adventure.
Yeah, California Adventure.
Yes. So it's like you're like flying through California as if you were like paragliding, I think. Mm-hmm. But they blow wind at you, and that's super cool.
Yeah.
And if you really focused hard enough, you would actually feel like you were there.
I think I did something like that at Disneyland too, or a California Adventure, and it was really cool. And like, imagine if that was with the new like a Poltergeist movie.
Yeah.
Or
my God.
Dude, that would be insane. That would be scary. I don't know if I could do that because I could barely do scary movies on their own.
Well, I can do scary movies. Mm-hmm. What I can't do, which which I applaud you for this, is I cannot play scary games.
Scary games.
I like me controlling the guy adds a whole entire element. I feel like I'm actually being chased in real life. I don't like it at all.
Did you play Slender? Have you played Slender Man?
Yes, and every time my screen started getting fuzzy, I just let go of the mouse. I walked away.
Really? You would walk away?
Yeah.
Dude, and for people who don't watch or play video games, Slender is one of those games that, you're walking around in the forest. It's super, the sound's really turned up. And, you're trying to get all these clues in a forest. And this
really dark, too.
Yeah,
really
super
dark.
fucking dark. It's creepy. There's music. And then there's this guy watching you. And necessarily, there's no really gore or anything about it. But it's just like you have this person walking behind you. Or you turn and this guy's there.
He's a faceless guy,
and he's
too.
faceless.
Super
Look
tall.
up Slender Man on Google. But there's another game that I play, which is Outlast. And it's basically a guy who wants to be really nosy, which is, a white person thing to do.
Scary movie thing to do.
The white person stereotype in a movie. I'm not bashing on white people or nothing, but I'm just saying a lot of the white people are pretty brave to go into a mansion that is definitely haunted. This guy goes, you know what? I want to go in there and see what's in there. This guy goes in there, so you're the guy in the video game, and you're just in this mental asylum, and it's the creepiest shit, and you get to control everything. And let me tell you, it's one of the scariest games I've ever played, and I'm biggest baby when I play it. I did that challenge when I was on Twitch. Still am on Twitch. Every time I would die, I would take a shot of soy sauce. And, man, I died 12 times that day, Brian, within an hour. Yes, I had viewers, but was it worth it? No. Was it worth the stomach ache? Not at all. The thing is about, and I think that's why I love video games too, is the competition. Or that you could get famous off of it.
That's what
I
live for.
And when I see that people think it's funny, or people think it's entertainment, and when I bring people entertainment, that's a big reason why I do these podcasts and talk to people and stuff like this. It's fun. When you got 22 people watching you saying, come on, man, don't die, or they're cheering for you to die and you're really trying not to die. Because I remember Thomas would be like, man, you're going to fucking die, bro. And then you're using that as motivation to not want to die. And that's super fun. When was the last time you played it? Was it the last time we all played together?
Yeah, I think it was Outlast 2.
It was Outlast 2. I haven't really played Outlast 2 because I know I would want to stream it. I finished Outlast 1 at Thomas's house a while back. But yeah, that video games, man, is one of those things I could talk hours for. But we're not going to get anywhere if we just talk about video games. I wanted to ask you, for one of your New Year's resolutions, I remember you were talking to me about going vegan. How is that? Are you still going? Are you still on it? Or
still going strong?
Wow.
Believe it or
So
not.
We're what? How many days in? We're 9 days into the new year?
Yeah.
Wow. January 9th, 2019, Brian Bordonaro is still vegan. What changes are you seeing? Anything?
A lot of positive changes, and I'm not gonna start preaching everyone needs to go vegan, and I also don't. It's weird for me to say that I'm vegan because I'm only 9 days in. It doesn't feel right. But
are you vegan though? If you don't tell anyone, you know what I mean. Like people need to tell people.
But that's the stereotype, and I get it. But I'd say the changes so far have been pretty good, and I know a lot of this has to do with the dairy consumption. I'm actually lactose intolerant, and I used to just eat it anyways, and it caused me a lot of problems. But ever since I switched to vegan, all those problems have went away. Just no more junk food, really. I mean, I could still be eating vegan junk food, but might as well eat vegetables, Yeah. So I've been eating a lot of vitamins, and I feel more energized. I never feel sluggish anymore. My skin's been clearing up a little bit.
I could tell by that.
And honestly, I'm glad I'm doing it. I do get cravings, especially for cheese. That's the one I'm not meat.
You can't even
actually.
have cheese.
Yeah, it's the cheese that gets you.
Wow. Yeah, because you want to sprinkle cheese on everything.
Oh God, yeah.
You know what I mean? Now that I think about it, I'm like, damn, this would really go with some cheese.
Well, I made a quesadilla yesterday.
No
cheese. It was bad.
How?
Well, it wasn't bad.
What was your cheese?
Nothing.
You had
it was
a quesadilla. No, you don't know. You had a tortilla.
It was 2 tortillas with refried beans.
Oh, okay.
And then salsa and cilantro.
That actually don't sound terrible.
It tasted good.
Yeah.
But it would have tasted really good with some cheese,
cheddar
man.
cheese,
Let me tell you. Or some sour cream.
Can't have sour cream either.
No.
So what is veganism? Is nothing from an animal.
Yes.
Or an animal, right?
Yeah. So no meat, no dairy, no honey,
no fish.
Yeah, no fish.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, and for me, I want to say that the reason why I chose to be vegan is more of the selfish side of it, just for health reasons.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily, I mean, which it's great that I'm not killing animals and it's good for the environment. Why wouldn't you like those things? But yeah, the main reason is for health.
Okay. So in a month from now, are you still going to be doing this, or is this like an experiment? You're doing it for a month.
This is an experiment,
okay.
But I don't have an end date. So
okay.
A month is definitely a milestone I'm shooting for.
Cool.
And if I feel good, if I like the lifestyle, I'll keep doing it. But I do love food. I love all kinds of food, and veganism limits you. And I could see myself going vegetarian.
Okay.
But I don't think I could do the full vegan for the rest of my life.
Because so you're saying the fish. Do you miss fish? Is that one?
I love fish.
Yeah.
And, I'm half Japanese
for
the viewers. So I grew up with a lot of seafood. My mom made that. Sushi is my favorite food. And
damn.
Just thinking of never eating sushi again.
Yeah.
That hurts, man.
Yeah, just don't eat the red meat. Or I'm trying to limit on red meat. Red meat's really bad for you.
Yeah.
But fucking dude, it's so good.
It's really
steak
good.
with butter on it, bro.
Steak, yeah.
Steak with cooked with butternut butter on it, but it's amazing. And to talk about food a little bit, because I'm a huge food guy. I wish, honestly, sometimes I wish I started a food podcast. Like I would just cook us up something and then just talk about what the food does. That would be really fun to do.
It's called a mukbang.
A what?
A mukbang.
A mukbang?
It's a Korean thing.
What?
It's actually popular, and it's actually growing in America.
Uh-huh.
They'll make food or they'll buy food.
Yeah.
And they'll just eat on camera.
No.
Yeah. Swear to God.
Do they eat like in your ear though? Like, do you hear like the?
I've seen some.
Majority
of them are pretty good about not grossing you out, but there have been a couple that I've seen where they're just munching.
No, that like creeps me out a little bit. Dude, that would be really cool though to review food. I know a lot of people. Okay, honestly, a lot of people wanted to be a football star. A lot of people wanted to be, astronauts. And obviously, I wanted to be a basketball player when I was younger. But one of my favorite shows when I was in third grade, was Man vs. Food. And I told myself, I want to be this man. And I was never the biggest guy, and I never had the biggest stomach when I was little, because I was kind of picky when I was little. But, man, imagine having that guy's job. Yes, very unhealthy. Very unhealthy. As I got older, I was like, maybe that wouldn't be that good of an idea. Yeah. But, man, to do that, go to all these cool places in the country to eat good barbecue, that's a fucking cool thing. And there's another guy I watch too. Speed eating is actually something I've been kind of like watching for a long time. And I remember me and my buddy back home, we speed ate a Happy Meal, and I did it in 32 seconds.
Damn.
I'm very proud of that. No, I think it was 42 seconds. 42 seconds.
Either way, impressive.
Yeah, ate a whole Happy Meal, and this guy still had the hamburger. He didn't use the best tactic, let's just say. But we bet Thomas this bet that he's got to have 4 family-sized bags of Lay's classic chips. I don't think he can do it, dude.
I'm going to have to agree with you, dog.
I do not think this guy can do it.
There's 3 reasons. Number 1, the chips are going to cut his mouth.
Oh, remember that when I was at your house?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That little tiny bag. I didn't even eat half of it. I just used it for my sandwich. That cut my lip up. So go on. So that's your one reason.
So that's 1. 2, very similar to the first reason. All that salt's going to dry your lips up.
No,
it's not going to feel good. And then number 3, Thomas is going to feel real shitty after 1 bag.
Oh.
All that grease, there's no way.
Dude, I couldn't imagine even eating a whole bag. I mean, I probably have done it.
I think I could, but like I said, I would not feel very good. I'd be done.
Like if someone held a gun to my head, I'd be like, all right, well, I have to do it.
Yeah.
But like if I didn't have the option, here's the thing though. I told Thomas if he did it, I would do it too, but I would blend it. Were you up in the room when I said this?
I did not hear the blending.
Because I was really trying to get him to do it. I was like, fucking just do it. Quit being a baby, And I was just like, all right, if you successfully do it, eat all 4 chips, 4 large Lay's classic bag chips. If you eat all 4 of them, I will do the same challenge, but I will put it in a blender with water, and I will do it.
Ew.
And
wait, are you gonna make it like a drink?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be that liquidy?
I would pour all those bags in water in a blender, and I would drink it. If he does it, if he could successfully do this.
I think you're good, man.
I really hope it doesn't happen, because I probably would talk about it on a podcast if I did have to do it.
I think Thomas is gonna get to 1 bag.
Okay.
But
easy?
Not easy.
Give me play-by-play.
All right. So
we all open it. He's nervous as fuck.
He first
chomps through the first one?
I wouldn't say chomp. I'd say the first half of the bag he's gonna chomp through.
Okay.
He's gonna start slowing down. Things are gonna start hurting. He's gonna have second thoughts 3/4 of the way through.
Wow.
He's gonna finish the bag, and he's gonna look at the 3 remaining bags.
Oh no!
And I think he's either gonna quit right there because he realizes he can't do it, or he's gonna say fuck it and go to 2, and he's gonna get halfway there and he's gonna give up.
Wow, that could very well happen. I think that's gonna be perfect of what's gonna happen. He's gonna try to drink water to compensate, and then he's gonna get full, and then he's just not even gonna like it, and then he's just gonna get pissed. And maybe not pissed. He'll just be like, "Wow, what am I doing? Is this really?" He's gonna think
it's impossible.
It's you think 4 bags is not a joke.
And you're talking party size.
Yeah,
those are like pillowcases.
These are big bags.
Chips.
And when I would be game out, and I would have a bag of chips, I couldn't even eat a whole bag. I couldn't imagine having 3 more. If I wouldn't even finish the first bag. Those are I have those in the pantry for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'll just have a handful.
You for a while.
Yeah. 4 in one sitting. I do not think anyone in the right mind would want to do that. Oh my God.
I don't know. What would that do to your body? I mean, all that salt for one.
Yeah. How would that feel coming out?
Terrible. Your body's going to hold on to all the liquid in your body just because of all the salt.
Oh, do you think he would get hurt, though?
He's going to get bloated.
Do you think he would get hurt? I don't want to hurt him. I don't think he would get hurt.
I don't think.
No, he's fucking fine.
He's
You know what? If people can fucking drink fermented wheat juice, every weekend, drink beer and all that, I'm pretty sure 4 party-sized bags of chips, you're fine.
It's good for you, probably.
I mean, I hope.
Potatoes or vegetables.
Yeah, he's basically getting his vegetables in. He should thank us.
And I mean, kids are eating Tide Pods, man. Come on.
Tide Pods or 4 bags of Lay's classic chips. Some people probably pick Tide Pods because, that's the thing about it these days.
But it's 2019 now, so.
2019, this is a new year for everyone. New year, new me. And I'm not afraid to say that. There's a lot of new things that everyone can improve on. If there's anything I wish people would do more is just focus on staying in their damn lane. That is going to be the highlight of this episode, is just staying in your damn fucking lane. Nintendo is doing the right thing, and I wish everyone would get that through their fucking skull. Another thing is about this show is I like to talk about things that really frustrate me. Me being in college.
Grinds your gears?
What really grinds my gears, and one thing I want to really talk about is for everyone who's ever been in school, I'm pretty sure that's everyone who will be listening, and if you're in homeschool, this would apply to you as well, I'm sure. There's tables and desks and pencils in basically every room. And here's the thing. I was sitting in class today, and I had a partner next to me. And, as a civilized person, you take your stuff out of your backpack, and then you put it on your seat or under your table by your feet. The person next to me and the people who did this in high school, I'm talking to you. And if you did this as a kid, let me know so I could just give you my 2 cents and why it's annoying. This girl next to me fucking plops down. She comes in 2 minutes late. So first of all, distracting, Then, unzips her backpack, takes her stuff out, normal person. Then slaps the backpack on the fucking table. Okay, what is she doing, No, she leaves this backpack there with all her little strings and pencils and rolling onto my side. And it's ridiculous, man. I wish people would get it through their skulls that you don't put your backpack on the table when you're, in a class setting. It was okay in middle school when you were hiding your tech decks behind your backpack or hiding your hot Cheetos. But it's not okay to when you're in college, to hide your fucking... This girl wasn't even hiding anything. You're just literally taking up space. This desk is half the size of this table.
Yeah.
You don't need to put your fucking oversized backpack on the fucking table. That's my fucking hot take of just my rant of what's going on right now in life is people who put their damn backpacks on the table.
Well, to take it a step further, I just think people need to understand that we all got a bubble, all right? A personal zone.
Yep.
Everyone should have that. Everyone deserves that right. But I agree with you, Dom. I meet people every single day that just don't care. Whether it's in class, on the bus, in public, people are running into me. People are spreading their legs out.
Oh, my God. It's like you're trying to sit.
Yeah. But nope, I'm going to have to stand on the bus this morning because this guy deserves 3 seats, I guess.
Yeah, this guy in his fucking, in his backpack. Oh, that's my favorite one. Putting the backpack there like, I'm just going to be like, oh, there's a backpack sitting there. Obviously, I know you're just putting that backpack there. I get some people have anxiety. I get the social anxiety thing. But come on, how much longer are you going to... This goes back to the Labrador thing. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, when I was 4 years old, I got lost at Disney World, Brian. So I have social anxiety. Okay, man, you got lost when you were 4 years old because you didn't hold your mom's hand. That's why I got lost at Disney World. Do you see me crying about it? No. I get it. I'm not saying people who have anxiety are bad people. But the people who are social medially diagnosing themselves, that's the new thing. Social medially diagnosing. I'm depressed.
I see it all the time.
I have anxiety. I have this. No, you don't. You're fine. Get over it.
And we want to make this clear. We're not taking anything away from people who
never.
actually have these issues. We're talking about the people
who want attention.
Exactly. Or an excuse, really. And it's not fair to the people who actually do have the problems.
Because that shit sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying I've had it,
Yeah, me neither. But it's not fair to them. Like, that now they're being put in this group with lazy people, really.
Yes.
And it takes away from their disorder, and it almost makes it seem like it's not real. But it is. It really is.
It's a very real thing. Psychological problems are actually been on the rise this past 5 years, and that's a huge thing. Psychology,
social media, man.
Yes, and I think that's a big part of it, and a big part of it is a huge part of that falls in that because everyone's saying, oh, well, this person, Aaron Rodgers has it so good, man. I'm just really feeling down right now. Dude, Aaron Rodgers worked his ass off. He didn't post that part, He didn't post all the hard work he did.
Plays through a knee injury.
Yeah, he didn't post all that, but, obviously his picture with, I don't know where he's been, where he was last, but, you can't look at it. Obviously, people have their hard times on social media, but they don't want to post like, oh, man, today was the day I got fired. Woohoo!
It's only the highlights.
Yeah, it's the good parts.
That's not what real life is. Everybody, even Aaron Rodgers has hard times.
Yeah.
Didn't make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, you don't see him gloating about that. He's going to gloat about when he, won a golf tournament, but, he's not going to put, just shit day, shit town, kind of, he's not going to do that. And to go back into your personal pet peeve of personal space, don't even get me started for when we go back home to the outlet mall, any mall.
Oh, my God.
Malls on Black Friday, just get rid of your personal bubble. Just turn it in, go turn it into the fucking mall. Be like, all right, here's my personal space bubble. I'll come get it after I'm done. Because I was at the outlet mall and just, actually anytime you go to the mall, people don't know what personal space is. And I get some people are from different countries and that's different too. I understand that. And they don't, some people in other countries don't really know the personal space as much as, US does.
Oh, in Asia?
Yeah.
I've been to Japan multiple times. Everyone's crowded on the train together. And
everyone's
it's fine. It doesn't bug me at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's like the intention of breaking your personal space. Like in that scenario, it's logical that we all squeeze into the train.
Yeah.
But when you're at the outlet mall
and there's room,
you can wait 10 more seconds for me to check out the t-shirt rack that I'm almost done with. But nope. You gotta walk up right next to me and start looking at the things I was just about to look at.
Yeah, do you really need to look at this Nike fleece shirt? Because, can you wait 10 seconds? I'm just looking at the colors here. I don't like to be rude, and I never say this in person, obviously.
No,
I'm not that tough, loud guy. But, I can say it on my podcast because I'm never going to see those people again. And it's just ridiculous on the personal space thing, because I'm a big person in that. I could never imagine being a wrestler, like a an actual wrestler, not wrestling or WWF.
That is real.
It is real. I could go actually on for days. I mean, it's not real, but I like it. But like Olympic wrestling, because I would start freaking out if someone was on top of me. Like, I would get that claustrophobia. Like, if there's a dude on top of me, like, choking me out, I would be freaking out. Like, I couldn't even imagine doing that. Like, and, football was a little different because, they tackle you and get off of you.
Yeah, right away.
But when I was on the bottom for, like, fumble recoveries at practice or something, I'd be like, fuck, dude, this sucks. But, that's the name of the game. When it's football, it's a little different. But when I'm at the mall getting a shirt, stay in your damn lane, man. 2019,
stay in your lane.
Stay in your damn lane. And another thing about 2019 I like to bring up is I'm a huge person of social media, and there's a lot of good social media sites. But I think the number one thing that is bad about social media is the people, is the fucking people. I know we just talked about the people, and I'm not saying we didn't, but there's a lot of fan groups on Reddit. I use Reddit, but I cannot stand the people on Reddit. Because they are a walking dictionary. They're a walking thesaurus. They're a walking encyclopedia. They're the stat book of the NFL and the NBA. And it's like, say I post something on the Ravens subreddit, Oh, man, the Ravens did a really good job today, even though we lost, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, Dom, if you look at play 3 in quarter 2.5, Joe Flacco actually looked at Lamar Jackson with a mean eye, and that's why we lost the game. Because he took the psychologic something out of his brain, and that's why we lost. Not because we didn't run the ball. Wow. Thanks.
I completely agree with you. I think Reddit is a great tool that we have.
Great.
A lot of times I have personal questions, and I'd rather look it up on Reddit than something backed up by sources, because it's more human.
Yeah, it is.
And I can connect to it more. But I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel like, especially with sports, these guys think that they're in the locker room with the team.
Oh my God.
They think they know the players, and they put themselves higher than you because they think they're smarter than you. And I cannot stand that.
It goes to the competitive thing too. So it doesn't help me. Say someone said that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Brian, actually, Joe Flacco told me in the locker room that the reason they lost is because it was his kid's birthday, and he was a little, he wasn't really on the right page. Really? That's why we lost? It wasn't the interception? You're going to scrape the barrel for... That's another thing people like to do. Here, if this was a barrel, they're just scraping the bottom of it and just trying to get... It's like when you're at Baskin Robbins, and, they're getting the new ice cream, and they'll get the last bit, and you're like, I don't really want that. I want the fresh one. And they're just, nope, here, problem. And they just plop it right on your fucking ice cream cone. You got to deal with it. And then it just translates into people just making non-problems into problems. And that's my rant on Reddit. I'm not a huge fan of Reddit.
Another social media that I do not like when it comes to sports is Instagram. Actually.
Wow.
As you probably heard throughout the podcast, I'm an Eagles fan.
Yes.
And I like to go to the Eagles pages on Instagram.
Like just random fan pages?
Yeah, just to see like any like trade rumors or injuries, like if someone's ready to play by next week, stuff like that. But I see a lot of, I don't want to say fake fans.
Yeah.
But dumbass fans where they'll totally turn on their team.
Oh, yeah.
A good example that I've seen a lot is Jalen Mills. He's the corner for the Eagles, also known as the Green Goblin, because he has his hair dyed green.
Yeah.
But last year he played pretty well. Probably one of our better corners on the team, if not the best. He's probably the second best, and everyone loved him. And then we get to this year where he got exposed a little bit in the beginning of the year, and instead of, being a good supportive fan going, oh, he'll get back into it, he'll go back to last year's shape, everyone starts saying Eagles need to trade him. Fuck this guy.
Fair weather.
This is why we're not winning. Fuck you, Jalen Mills.
Oh my God.
I'm shocked. I don't I support the players on my team. I feel like that's what it should be. You should be rooting for your guys, not talking shit to them, asking them to leave the team.
it goes back into the idea of Dear Diary. Jalen Mills was not that good today. Keep it to your damn self. That guy's obviously in the NFL. You're not in the NFL. You don't see us crying. I was, as a Ravens fan, I'm like, oh, maybe we put Flacco in when Lamar wasn't doing good. But, people like to forget that Lamar was the reason they were there.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh my God,
he
lit up
jokes, the league. But it's funny because there's actual fans out there that will go, I just have to get my opinion out. Oh, I got it out, man. You were a dick about it. What if he saw that, man? Like, people don't really like to think that. Like, there's some celebrities who would be like, damn, that was kind of an asshole move. They don't care, probably.
Yeah.
But, I bet you there's some athletes who don't really get that much exposure. Say it's like a new guy.
Or a college kid.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, hey, man. College is a perfect example. Say the Wazoo kicker, we went to national championship, and, he missed the game-winning field goal. He already gets ridiculed by the whole media and everybody. Sits down in class next quarter. Hey, man, fuck you. What do you think that guy's supposed to do? He's supposed to be an adult about it then? Like, people don't realize,
like where were you on that kick?
Yeah. Is that home?
Whoa, I would have made it if I got the chance.
Man, you had one job. What? One job? I hate hearing that one job shit because it's just, we talked about it on the Weekly Take podcast, but
yeah.
It's just like, man, you don't fucking get it. I'm not going to say the kicker job is the hardest job on the football team.
Probably the most stressful.
Pressure, for sure. But that is one thing I just can't stand. That also, this applies to a common theme, Brian. Stay in your damn lane, kid.
Damn lane, yeah.
Quit fucking tweeting at people, making a big deal out of nothing. There's nothing to complain about. Listen, we're not in 1538 where people are getting beheaded because their ear is a different shape or color. We're not living in the year, when the pyramids were built. We're like, all right, you're going to build the pyramid. That's what you're going to wake up and do. You don't get to complain to Twitter about, man, just this fucking Pharaoh guy, man. He's got me slaving away.
They'd carve it into stone.
Yeah, they put it in hieroglyphics.
Pharaoh.
They're like, man, subtweeting the Pharaoh, man. I fucking actually hate pharaohs. There's only one God, He's saying some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
And, obviously there's probably some media for him back then, but that is really what I had to talk about for this year because there's a lot of shit I don't really know what else I could say about last year, but I'm glad it's over and I'm glad we're in 2019.
I'm also glad it's over.
It's a totally new year, totally new us. But is there anything else you would like to wrap up before we wrap this whole show up? Are you a little podcast out a little bit?
I think I got one more.
What do you got? What do you got, Brian? Tell the people what you got.
The Greek system.
The Greek system.
This is a big one.
We might be here an extra 25 minutes, to be honest. So for the people at home who don't really know, what's the Greek system?
So it's not at every university, but
okay.
But a good chunk of universities have a Greek system. And
okay.
What it is they have houses where basically the simplest way to say it is just a group of people being together and working together.
Okay.
That's the gist of it, which doesn't sound like a bad thing.
No, not at all.
In reality, what it is now today, it's just a way to party. Which also, I mean, some people would be against it, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But there are some negative effects that come out of the Greek system, and that's what I hate, and that's my pet peeve. And let me get into those.
Okay.
So, first of all, I want to say I do have some friends and people that I know that are in the Greek system that I do respect.
Yes, there's very good people and bad people in anything.
Yes, and I don't hate everyone in the Greek system. Just want to make that clear. Just 90% of them.
90% of them I dislike.
If not more.
When then they use Brian, you hate us because you ain't us card. Like, you don't get it, bro. I'm out smashing chicks and partying while you're at home doing homework, bro. Isn't that what you're here for?
That's why we should be.
Is that why we're all here? Is that why we're even talking? Because of the school? Okay, go on.
But I'd say probably my biggest, this is the key value that everything stems from, my hatred stems from for the Greek system, and that's you have to pay money to get in. And I'm not saying like $100 or whatever. It's thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And this money goes into like beer and the house expenses, stuff like that.
Philanthropy weekend, charity.
The 2 philanthropy events that they do for 20 minutes a year, selling donuts for $1, really helps the community. No, but okay.
They do good things for the community.
I'm glad they do philanthropy.
Yeah.
That's actually not what I'm mad about.
Yeah.
But the main thing that I don't like about them paying money into the house, is they're paying for friends.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue.
Are.
And like I said, that there are cool people in the Greek system that I would be friends with. I'm sure if I joined a house, there'd be a couple guys that
would be cool
I'd be bros with. But all the other guys, the reason why they're there is because they paid money, not because they're a good person, not because they share interests. It's because they paid money, and I don't want paid friends.
They like to make you think that with their rush stuff.
Yeah,
like, oh, I was picked.
Oh yeah.
Well, you were tall and you were white, or you were tall and you knew someone.
That's all you need.
You know,
it's, and we interact with these frat guys. Sororities, I don't mind as much. I do want to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they care a lot more about philanthropy. They're more genuine about it. But so mostly I'm writing about frat guys. But we've come across a lot, whether it be in class or intramural sports.
Oh wow!
But we all tend to have the same experience every time, and that's another reason is they all act the same.
Yes.
They all talk the same.
Their shit's gold, kind of thing. Like they think their shit's gold.
No, they think they're part of this elite group of guys. They put themselves above other people because they get blacked out drunk 2 times a week.
Wow, you got me beat, bro.
I don't know why that became an accomplishment to them.
Oh, you don't get it, bro. You know how many Fortune 500 CEO there are that were in Greek row? Do you know that? Do you know how my brothers would do anything for me? I get that, and that's cool, you know. But the thing is about the Greek system, and the reason why I dislike it, and I'm basically with you on all that, and I have, a couple friends that are in the Greek system that I'm like, hey, this guy's pretty cool, And the drinking part is never really the part that upsets me. And like, get shit-faced drunk every day.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
People can get drunk if they're not in the Greek system.
But
that's not the reason.
The thing is like, I don't like is how some of the people in the Greek system objectify others. So they objectify people who aren't in the Greek system, first of all. So like, say, you should share the story after I'm done talking, actually. that one story.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then, but my thing is that they instantly write you off if you're not a part of it. And my thing, so I'll be like, hey, man, what's up? Oh, I'm in a Greek. Oh, cool. End of conversation. But the thing is they treat, like, women shitty. And, like, I know
objects.
Yeah, and I know there's guys out there that aren't even in the Greek system that treat girls like shit. And that's fucked up. Like, and I just think they think it's all cool. Like, dude, we're both fucking humans. There's nothing to, obviously there's differences biologically, but we're all the same being. Quit treating women like they ain't shit, because that's not right. And that's my pet peeve.
Yeah.
And obviously there's good guys in the Greek system that actually, treat them right. But I feel like majority of them just like use them for sex, and that's fucked up.
And I think that's just the social norm of Greek life.
Yeah.
And to them, in their own head, they don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, because it's socializing.
Yeah, and everyone else does it, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So what happened with your one of your first experiences? I remember when we first got here last year when we lived together. You told me about this.
This is one of the bigger reasons why I have a problem with the Greek system. So first day of class, I'm sitting down and this cute girl sits next to me and we start talking. She's really cool, seems super nice. She's funny. I'm really interested, and I'm just thinking about how lucky I am that she decided to sit next to me.
Nice.
And then the question comes up. You know what she asked me, Don?
Like, what's your favorite movie? What do you like to do for fun?
She goes, what house are you in? And as soon as I told her, oh, I'm not in a house, just thinking, she'd be like, oh, okay. She looks the other way.
Wow. The other way.
Literally, you would think she would at least be like, oh, okay.
It's not for everyone.
And then stop talking to me. She literally looks the other way, doesn't talk to me again.
Not a word.
Not a fucking word.
I didn't know there was not a word.
Not a word.
It was like,
yeah. She made a sound. Yeah. She went, oh.
What?
not an O, but she didn't go, oh. She just went, oh. Look
Wow.
The other way. You're telling me because I don't hang out with Chad and Thad, I'm not good enough for you?
Yeah, because you hang out with Dom, Thomas, and Nate and play Smash Bros.
Let me tell you, girl in my finance class, I can do better, all right? If you're that kind of girl that judges me because I'm not in the Greek system, I don't want you.
You know what? Speaking of better, Brian, you know what you do deserve? You know, Brian and I, are in a group chat together on Instagram.
Yes, we are.
And, there's these two girls that Brian and I have had celebrity crushes on for a long time. And you know what? We said 2019 is the year we shoot our shot. So we shot our shot at Ariana Grande and Vanessa Hudgens, and we offered them to get coffee.
We were going to pay too. We said our treat.
Yeah, not saying, to hook up or anything. That's not what we're about. We're about just meeting them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we got? Crickets.
No response.
I'm honestly starting to feel like maybe we scared them a little bit.
We went in too aggressive.
I think 2020 might be the year,
Ariana,
you don't deserve that.
If you're listening to this, I still love you.
You don't deserve that non-responsiveness from Ariana Grande, Brian. A lot of people don't like to notice that, but Brian's a pretty cool dude. And,
thanks, Tom. I think you're pretty cool too.
Thanks, and
Vanessa Hudgens.
Maybe when we're older.
You could do better, honestly.
Yeah, and I am. You know what? 2019 is the year I stay in my own damn lane. I work out and have a good time.
It's a year of bettering ourselves.
Yes, and don't get me wrong. I'm having a fantastic time right now with just being who I am and everyone who I'm talking to, friendship-wise and everything. I'm fucking probably one of the happiest times I've been in 2019. I'm so glad to be where I'm at and college currently, and that's fantastic. So let's wrap this up, Brian. Where can people find you? What is there any last words you got to say for this first episode?
I'm just happy to be on. First podcast I've ever done. Had a great time. Hopefully let me be on again.
Dude, next week. Let's do it. I'm serious. What's this bullshit next week?
Yes, sir.
Man, this has been an amazing time. So one more time, where can people find you, Brian?
Board and Arrow, which board, I'm bored.
Okay.
That's on Twitter.
Okay.
And then you got Board and Arrow, like a wooden board, on Instagram and on Snapchat.
And are you one of those people that someone should follow to laugh at, laugh with? Or are you more serious? Because I know a lot of people, like we said, are diaries. Are you, what is it? What are you about? Just having fun?
I like to use social media for fun. And I don't really use it that often.
Okay.
For one. So if you go on my Twitter, I'm not ranting. It's not a diary for me. I'm just usually retweeting sports stuff. And Instagram, I barely use. I'm trying to get more into it just for my friends, not because I want more followers.
Instagram is king.
Yeah, but I would like to grow that. And I just, whenever I can think of an excuse to post a picture, that's one of my resolutions too.
Be more active on social media.
On Instagram. Yeah. And then on Snapchat, I rarely go on Snapchat, but when I do, it tends to be something funny or something cool. I don't like to use it if it's just something boring, like stuck in traffic.
Tide Pod Challenge. You did start.
I did start that. Yep. Yes.
Not eating it. Brian did not. Let me just get this straight. Brian did not tell anyone to eat it, but he just started the trend of taking a picture of it. He didn't say eat it or anything, because those are the weird people. And that actually does it for this week on Dom Joseph's podcast, episode 1. I just want to thank you guys all for listening. This has been a cool, awesome experience to actually just sit down and not really have a prompt. We just kind of we talked about video games, relationships, social media, the Greek system. A lot of great things actually came out of this podcast, and I hope everyone learned a little bit this week. So thank you guys again, and have a fantastic day.